developing right now. President Donald Trump urging the House to pass a funding fix for D.C.'s budget.
And he made that ask on Truth Social earlier today. The Senate passed legislation 2 weeks ago allowing D.C. to continue to operate under its 2025 budget. This after Congress's spending bill reverted D.C. back to an old budget, resulting in a $1 billion budget cut.
And that bill now in the hands of the House, which has been back in session for a week.
And that request, it comes just hours after the president signed a new executive order targeting D.C.
He's creating a new federal task force to make the city, quote, safe and beautiful. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone live on Capitol Hill for us. And Marielle, how are people responding to this?
Tosin and Mark, this new executive order isn't unexpected, but for some we spoke to today, it still feels like a slap in the face. We know earlier this week, the U.S. Attorney for D.C., who was appointed by the president, really pledged a commitment to working with the community, but the new task force and executive order is really void of any community input.
We're talking about the autonomy of our city right now.
For D.C. advocate Ron Moten, the latest executive order signed by President Trump is a direct assault on the community and home rule.
There's an attack on us.
In part, the order creates the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force, charged with making D.C. beautiful and prosperous by preventing crime, punishing criminals, and preserving order, among other things. It's made up of members from 9 federal agencies. No local elected officials are included.
When I look at the executive order and I look at all the partners, it reminds me back when it was a war on people, black people. It was supposed to be a war on drugs, and it destroyed our community.
The task force will focus on the prompt removal and cleanup of all homeless camps and graffiti on federal land, maximum enforcement of federal immigration law, and deploying a more robust law enforcement presence.
The encouragement of additional enforcement and more use of force is especially concerning.
Patrice Sultan with the D.C. Justice Lab says the order reframes old tough-on-crime policies and doesn't address any root causes of crime.
To do that takes a lot of work, but it also takes a lot of knowledge about our city. It's its own organism. It has its own identity and culture.
She and others asking those on Capitol Hill to consider the implications of what they're doing.
Don't let an ink pen become a weapon.
And the mayor responding today only by posting on social media to say that she hopes the House does pass that budget fix so that the district can pass its own budget coming up in its budget process and work on keeping the city clean and safe. Mark and Tosin, Eleanor Holmes Norton, our congresswoman, taking a little bit more of a pointed response here, calling this an insult on the 700,000 people who live here in the district. Reporting live from Capitol Hill, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.